home online and smashing people in the Turkish league to coming here and smashing people on stage. So I'm going to go in hoping that we're going to see the best of Spear off rip. And if they put him in for Izzy, I'm expecting big things.
And to build on Bea's point from the desk, Akuka was saying, waka waka waka, and I think that's a really important part of this game. The pistols carry a lot of weight, and we already see Rienz and Echo have a bit of a battle about towards the C site. And I think that might not be the goal of Heretics. A very slow start to the attack side. Eternal Fire, on the other hand, are looking to get aggressive. 4 players pushing up on A, and it's Benji Fishy standing against them all. Not standing for very long.
There you go. He's on the board. Sometimes it takes players a lot longer than that to get their first kill, but Spear already with that aggression. And maybe the start of what could be a very prolific career. Already the utility denied by the veto. Of course, that is something that players are going to have to get used to, but of course, I think Heretics would have known what was coming when they went into this one, and Woot already just looks to take over. The young prodigy has now been around a little bit longer in the form of Woot, but he hasn't gone anywhere. 3 kills in the pistol. All that stands is Ordaz, and he does not stand for long.
That's a nice idea from Eternal Fire to get aggressive into the late round. They're waiting to see that A push come through. It doesn't, so they make the A push happen themselves, catch themselves a kill, but, well, there's not really much you can do when Woot decides to show up like this. Spear swung out looking for the trade, but he was not quick enough, and Woot most certainly was. When we talk about Rienz as that Turkish team killer, well, 3 kills for Woot in the pistol. It seems like everyone on Heretics is here to take the dub. For Eternal Fire, a low buy, and you're expecting, and I imagine Heretics are as well, a bit of aggression on this low buy.
Yeah, something to note as well, that it does seem like a shift I wanted to talk about when we saw Heretics come back into Stage 2, is do we now consider Woot that primary duelist? Because something that has been, as the in-zone flawless goes through, has been a talking point was when Miniboo left, he said he was in the running to be primary duelist, but that didn't happen. They got Comeback, and they got Koshmaris, and things swapped up. But in recent times, he has been playing the Jet, the Neon, which I normally would put as the primary. Now he's on the Raze, while Koshmaris is on an Omen. It seems like they are switching to make him more of that focal point. And that's a very interesting piece, because when they played maybe arguably their very, very best back in 2024, he was also that piece.
Yeah, could be yet again. A 2-0 start. Rifles across the board for Heretics here. Plenty of credits to buy up in the next. It's essentially back-to-back full buys them for Eternal Fire. No group up, but still some aggression. C-Mound already taken. Fabian has the ability to protect himself from any util thrown his way, or most util thrown his way at least. So they're confident to leave him all by his lonesome there. He's also got his traps out on the B side, so this is a lot of control taken by just this man. And everyone else can focus on A. That's great, if Heretics go that way.
Toxins going up.
B site, at least for now, is the point of contention, but pressing the button puts Fabian under an awful lot of pressure, revealed and forced all the way back. And okay, sure, he'll TP out of there, but he's taken a nasty amount of damage early on. It seems like maybe even part of a game plan. Okay, Spear, welcome to the server. Put a rifle in his hands and 2 heads already gone. A quick double to shut down any pressure on the B site. And now this makes things quite awkward for Heretics, who have 30 seconds to make their move.
Still so much ground to cover as well. 20 on the clock, and Spear still standing. Nice shot onto Rienz. He's taking the round by storm! What? A debut ace in the first 3 rounds! Spear is on the server, baby! What a show up!
Well, you know, it's not quite the Navira pistol ace. He hasn't quite done that, but round number 3, that's all it took for the young Turkish superstar. If you were questioning like, oh, it seems like everybody's hyping this guy up quite a lot, you now understand why. Huge levels of individual brilliance, and that was Heretics with at least some weapons in their hand. Yeah, it's a bonus. Yeah, they could buy back into things, but if he wasn't confident before, he certainly is now.
First time he touches a rifle, first full buy, and he's got 5. Spear definitely leading the charge for this squad, but here it's Odd has taken 2. Great shock dart from Neki. That was his second. The first did damage as well. And now Benji Fishy, moments later, is all by his lonesome. Barriers went up, and 4 players from Heretics went down. The spike on the floor as well. And at least last round, you could look and go, okay, Spear had a life round. It's whatever. But the buy round, the full buy, although the last was still pretty strong, it hasn't lasted even a fraction as long as the one before. Unless you still have hope in the 1v5. Look, Benji's been great in the past, but and then look, this would certainly be a return to, or not even a return to form. He'd be hitting a new level.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't think I'm a believer in it. And
I don't think he is either. Spikes on A.
oh, I know exactly where he is. Maybe hoping to just try and get out of there and hold on to the gun, but instead he is being hunted. We know how aggressive this Eternal Fire defense likes to
30
be.
seconds left.
Okay, he doesn't have a chance anymore. He had a chance if they kept pushing him.
Well, that's also assuming that he's able to out-aim any of the players on the other side, which Benji is very good, but, you know, these Turkish youngsters have been insane. There you go, there's one. Now the other 2 from the C site are going to look to surround him, and unfortunately, I don't think he's long for this one. One of them was picking up the orb. I love that from Necky's like, well, only one of us can get killed, so I might as well just pick up the orb. It's always a little disrespectful, but I quite like it.
Yeah, it's a fantastic early fight, though, that we saw go down. All that spamming, catching 2. You know, you'll never turn your nose at a start like that. But the utility barrage behind it, the stone that came through from Spear, the shock darts from Necky.
Really?
Oh, that was his first ace in VCT
He
EMEA.
didn't
That's crazy.
He didn't get one in round 2 or round 1.
Now,
so
here's
I
a
guess
question for you, Captain Cal. What's the record from a player joining VCT EMEA? How many rounds
Navira
until they get an ace? Was it round 1?
Yeah, I think it was round 1.
Oh, the pistol. Yeah, that's what you were saying. That was his first game. I almost forgot about that. So is he second? Is Spear
Unless
second,
I'm wrong.
Or did somebody else?
We'll see.
Did somebody
Maybe
else
I'm
hit
wrong.
round number 1?
Who knows? Maybe my memory is fooling me. That might have even been before. I don't know. It was a long
For
time
partnership,
ago.
you think? No.
Maybe.
Oh, maybe, actually. I don't know. All blurs into one at some point. As these rounds will for Heretics if they keep losing like this. A few spams back, and it looks like there's still some life on the attacking side. Barely any. 15 health between them. And now the spike down. And it's Echo to contend with. I said I was excited for this head-to-head. Well, Rienz has made the wraparound. But as time ticks on, Echo will become aware. And now he's in a position where his back is not exposed. He can look forward and see both angles of approach. Rienz has to land the headshot. 150 health on the other side. But for him, a swift breeze, a sneeze in his direction, and he is gone down. It's going to have to be quick from the Turkish killer of Rienz. He's coming around, catching him off, but missing all the shots. Echo, the Red Bull clutch, finds a round for Eternal Fire that puts them in the lead.
It's way too close for what was invested on the Heretic side. I think the Eternal Fire can breathe a sigh of relief after they were saved, because started so well. Ordaz did fantastically, but again, we talk about the bliss of Rienz versus Turkish opposition, and he very nearly took that one home. Instead, though, it will be 3-2 in favor of Eternal Fire, of course, when you look back.
Aggression on this defensive side in the majority of the rounds so far, and you can bet your ass you'll see it again. Maybe even right here. Operator for Spear, and you know, normally you wouldn't think he'd push too far, but he's got 2 buddies with him. It looks like they want that deep control, and it looks like they'll get it as well. Spear's already posted up way down C-long, and to be honest, for Heretics, you'd never assume that you've lost that much control. That someone's peeking C, sure, but not that deep in. And that's why Boo goes around to probably throw a reveal, check if they're mound, and gets a bullet to the face.
Yeah, that's a rough start. You can even see that they were hoping to try and just deny some of that early control. And got completely punished for it. Necky, it's a good position. I thought for a moment he might get a multi-frag. Now looking to try and take the weaponry away, but both players too far back to be caught. Need to clear out the drop, but a wraparound already from Spear. There are lots of players locked in. A missed shot, that's a first. Got the first ace, now the first miss. But he still lives to tell the tale, and his teammates are all encroaching around the back angles. Already evolving his Favian, but it's whether or not they need it. A 2v4 necessary, and although Woot can get one, that is all she wrote. A very quick round once again from Eternal Fire as they now double up their opponent's score.
Yeah, from 2-0 down. And the start of this round from Spear And it's not just Spear, right? The shot was so important to land that opening kill, but it's the fact that he has Echo and Audaz with him. They have a large amount of utility to throw. If Spear is getting pressured, he can get behind Mound, throw his wall up, and get out. You've got Paranoia, you've got your Orb, your Snake Bite, your whatever the hell you want to get him out of there. That's why he's so confident to take that much space early on. He's not just being hung out to dry if they do pressure him. He's been given a bailout as well, multiple ways out, in fact. Now we start this one with feigned aggression from Eternal Fire. They open that door towards A, and before this was where 4 players came barreling out, and instead this was concealing the fact they're still playing that C angle, and again have Spear posted up with a ton of information early. And Heretics already will have to use, look at where Boo is right now. Like, if they're going to go anywhere near this angle, I imagine they're going to use utility. They're not, and they almost got a kill for it.
Yeah.
He's sticking around.
He's been caught out. This time Spear is punished. Didn't have any friends alongside him. Of course, things are equalized, but the main benefit, especially with that orb, is that they get Woot, an operator in hand. It leaves just one defender, at least for now, on this side of the map. Audaz looking to get aggressive around his own smoke. Never mind. He didn't even care about the smoke. He's just shooting alongside it. Again, we've seen a lot of spam kills recently. He's even spotted the player out towards the door, watching to see if anybody looks to go within it. He does get taken down by Kushmaras. Echo also kind of in no man's land. This is a problem. They are fighting individually. And while they're trading evenly, which is absolutely fine for the side of Heretics.
That's already a great round. Much better than it looked like was even possible, but a trouble with that Hunter's Fury. Boo. Gonna have to sidestep it, 10 seconds left, and Fabian drops him, spike down, no plant. And Benji's gonna have to do it alone. He's not gonna be given the space or the time to do this. All Fabian has to do is cancel the plant. And all Neki had to do was run away. A 3K for Fabian, and a 5th round in a row now for Eternal Fire.
Yeah, I think, again, you just see the sort of chaos of Eternal Fire, and then the last 2 players just kind of bring us back to reality. Like, they use the Hunter's Fury to disrupt the plant, and while the plant is being disrupted, the last player just basically goes and spots. It makes it impossible for Benji to really do anything. And while the depth of talent on this team is shining once again, 5 rounds in a row.
Oh, Weber doesn't look too happy. The timeout hasn't changed much. Now some interesting util from Team Heretics! Woot! Got in for 2! Slipped up behind them, and Spear didn't see the knife in the back coming, but hold on. There's an opportunity. Never mind. Never mind. Woot cleared it. I mean, they just put a Prowler through, but for some reason Woot said, I'll double check it. And it's a good thing he did.
It feels like Woot has been their main win factor so far.
Well,
the pistol round.
Crazy.
But then also they catch a player with a season. He's like, right, I'm in. I'm on that. Goes over the top and ends up with 2. Even wraps back around afterwards. And for Echo, a 1v5. Now, they got the credits. He can go for this, and it's not going to break the bank. He can try and make this one costly, but maybe just looking to try and exit. And eventually, well, it will end as an in-zone flawless. A great return to the board for Heretics. A good moneymaker. And in all honesty, I don't think they even had to use their ults.
A little bit of a taste of their own medicine for Eternal Fire. This aggression is crazy from Woot. The Season A thrown through. You expect them to be backing off, running away, and before the reveals even landed, before he even knows what he's getting into, he's blind dove in and taking a double kill.
Eyes, let's go! Nice!
To say he got a little lucky with them lined up is something, but hey, if it works, it works. And in-zone flawless is how they break the 5-round streak of Eternal Fire. And again, that Seize is going to catch. It's in a different position this time, but Spear cannot catch a break. Re-ends, ends up with 2. And look, for Heretics, A main was a big problem starting out this map, but it seems like that is a thing of the past.
Well, yeah, we always used to talk about Boo swapping up the roles. Like, he would go between Initiator and Controller. He's settled on Controller for a long, long time. You can see the value he brings with his utility. Now, Neki has at least been able to find one. The drone is going to reveal 2 players. He knows that they're in this corner, and Echo's going to tuck in. Maybe a slight off angle, but it only works if they break that door. If not, the pressure will be on Neki once again, who's already less than half HP.
Very patient from Heretics. Nightfall to clear sight when they eventually go, so time crunch isn't the biggest of concerns. Well, with 30 on the clock, it is probably time to go, especially after that reveal being broken. You can only imagine someone from Eternal Fire's on the rotate. Audaz miles away, luckily. And that door is still standing in the way of Echo, so he'll have to give himself away if he wants to help out. And it might even be the retake call for Eternal Fire.
Nightfall clears the back. Snakebite in. It's going to slow them down. Echo's done well, but it is only the one and done. Time ticking. Plant position is going to be so important. If Neki gets this right, he could just win the round, but he's just off by a millisecond. Wu guarding his teammate's life. And while Audaz, they're going to figure out very quickly exactly where he is. All three players now at the back of the site, and while too many targets for Audaz to try and correct onto. 2 in a row for Heretics. Another good round in terms of denying the aggression of Eternal Fire, and we talked about the fact they need to soak up that pressure. They've done it the last 2.
Yeah, they've done a remarkable job, I think, fighting back with some of the seizures of their own. Like, I don't know what Boo is doing to correctly predict the position of Spear twice in a row, but he might be the one man in the studio. I'm not going to challenge the battleship.
Let's go!
A remarkable job done by Heretics to recover this. But the half's not done yet. Plenty of rounds left to play for. And Eternal Fire, they look to extend that lead before it's lost. They start out with a very spread defense, not looking for any more A main aggression on that defensive side, and I can't imagine why.
Echo's in a good spot, but he needs a multi-frag and he gets nothing. Rien's also
look at the spike.
Catching out Spear once again. Spike not going anywhere just yet. Fabian locking down this backline, but Benji's watching for it. They are so aware of everything that's being attempted now by Eternal Fire. It's like the first few rounds were all just calculating, and now they've started to figure out the puzzle that is this aggressive Turkish side. Of course, for both teams, a victory here almost feels paramount. Of course, there's no elimination in our group stage. It just sends you to the play-in instead, but I think most teams would be hoping for those couple of weeks off. Neki, good position again, but it's so expected at this point. I think every time they open that door, they're going to go, okay, check the left and right side of the door. Neki's probably stood on one of them.
Yeah, after such a slow start for Heretics, that 5-round streak, Eternal Fire looking hot to the touch. It definitely felt like we weren't going to get to see the Heretics that we expected today, the Heretics that we saw last time they faced Eternal Fire. But I guess we are seeing that. Reminiscent of those slow starts and bounce backs. Pretty much guaranteed at this point for the 5-5 half. 7-5 possible from the position they were in. That seemed like a dream not long ago.
I think this is the issue, though, for Eternal Fire, and has been in quite a lot of occasions. When they have momentum, they look like the best team in the world. Like, when they can just keep running at people and headshotting them, they look unstoppable. The second someone figures them out, it's do they have other layers to their gameplay? And I'll be honest, a lot of the time I feel like the answer is no.
But look at this round. It was a standard default. They pushed up C main a little bit late. Super slow with Fabian. And almost caught the spike. But sitting back and playing the fights, look, it's not their game. And it certainly looked like it.
One enemy remaining.
And I agree, you know, because it was A main. Working for them again and again.
Winning a singular round isn't quite enough.
And that's where maybe the confidence starts to take a hit as things slow down. This pause hopefully resetting things for Eternal Fire. 5 in a row, and now 5-5. And the defense goes back to 4-man A main aggression. Again, we're going to see the wall put up, but this time Spear waits, expecting the utility to be thrown through. The funny thing is, Boo didn't throw it this time. He watched that wall, waited, and they found the advantage for their trouble. It was a good idea. I like it from Eternal Fire. There was going to be a second leg to that aggression, but Team Heretics immediately read it as fake pressure.
They just spammed. That was all they needed to do. They're like, someone is going to take this ground. Let's just spam in that direction through the wall, and we'll probably get a kill, and they did.
The funny thing is, it wasn't Spear taking the ground. It was a push out a door, right? Fabian came out of the door. Nobody came through main, because that's been where the spam has been so often. And then this time, it's changed up. That's a tough blow. A better round for it to happen. And again, for Eternal Fire, they keep their credits through to the next round for the most part. That's where the full buy is going to be. Hopes put into something like a Bandit, but, well, this weapon has delivered in the past, but not this time. Wood is activated today. He's only 11-7, but his impact has been tangible in the rounds that they've won.
Oh, yeah, especially the early rounds, you could almost put solely off his back. Dart going through. Does reveal Riens. That's the player you want. Unfortunately, they weren't quite quick enough to grab him. And while Riens then finds a spam of his own. He has gone down. That's at least something. But you look at what's remaining. Spear would have to pop off with the rifle. Neki would probably need to find something as well. And Wu just isn't having any of it. Looking like a different beast so far today. Obviously had a bit of a rougher showing in their opening game that we saw. But as I was saying, like if either of these teams want to make it into that top two, you kind of need a victory here. Like the Heretics going 0-2, definitely not where you want to be. But even being 1-2, you're still going to be a little bit more reliant on teams not finishing 4-1 or finishing higher up on that board.
Well, 1 round left to play for. And Heretics avoiding a second loss. Still a long way away with Haven. We don't really know what to expect. That same Seize nade thrown through, but Eternal Fire playing this much more passive there. Fabian's popped the ult, and again, we've seen this round. We haven't really seen it work for Eternal Fire so far. As Fabian takes the seat control, a TP this time is much more, much deeper for him. And so he's going to be able to play deeper towards Mound, TP back, keep that control while this pressure is going on towards the A site. But Heretics don't show signs of really wanting to go there yet. For Eternal Fire, rotates have come in, but they could be doubling back. And it looks like Eternal Fire making that read. They're starting to group up at that choke point. I think the defense wants to fight.
Oh, the door. Ordaz will slow them down with the paranoia, but he's been denied by the blast pack. Spear didn't allow them just to make that move for free, though. Weaponry about to be removed, but the timing's not quite there. Players fighting through while they still have the rifles. That's always the problem with a steel gun. It's just a little bit slower than you'd like it to be. And that leaves Riens left alone. He's had a pretty decent half, but it would need to be the ace if they're going to go in with an advantage. The spams, not far away, and okay, he's got rid of Echo. But that time is ticking down. 20 seconds. Okay, that smoke's now going to fade. But with both players still in the corner, nothing that he can do to clear them. It just has to be immediate headshot! But Riens pulls it off! The man that always seems to be the God versus Turkish opposition somehow takes down both! What on earth is that?
What a way to close out the half from Riens. We talked about wanting to see this guy on the Viper on this map, the head-to-head with Echo, but my God! What a round to show up in. The lead locked in 7-5 at the halftime. For Eternal Fire, the bounce back needed. Let's hear from Neki during the break.
Guys, what are you doing, guys? I'm here. Calma, calma.
Now, addition of Spear. Well, round 3, he certainly made a big splash. He's been doing decent round to round after that. But this attack side is where I expect to see him shine.
Either way, it's not an opportunity to turn it in the pistol. Let's listen in.
Git ortadan çekti orayı.
3 CS.
Hoş kanka. Kapıyı açabilirim.
Bekle. Spike'ı size vereceğim, şey yapacağız, tamam mı? Ömür bir B önüne git, kendini göster, al şunu.
Yürü beyler belki.
Tamam bekle, smoke at bir daha buraya. Atıyorum, bekle ya da atma. Beraber pikleyelim, gelin. 1, 2, 3.
B'den yürüyeyim mi?
Tamam bekle.
Hala isteriz.
Tamam ağacı açın, beraber ağaca girin. Smoke aç. Ve volunu aç hatta. Atma smoke atma.
Kapanacak ama hızlı kapanacak.
Tamam ağaca 2 kişi girsin, Soner bana kapıyı kıracaksın. Kapıya drone vereceğim, sonra A oynayacağız, tamam mı?
Tamam,
Ömür sen de gel.
Başlarım. Bekle, klasik değil kanka, bu zor kılıyor.
B önüne gitti Fate. Oynayalım Aya. Tamam ağaca girin.
Açtı
Ağaca
ağacı.
girin. Backside paranoya da girelim. Reveal
Atıyorum backside
açacağım.
bana. Hemen smoke soldan geble. Hemen smoke soldan geble. Hemen smoke soldan geble. Vame verdim.
Right boş retake oynuyor adamlar. Arka
Hemen
gap.
alabiliriz, hemen
Arka
alabiliriz.
gap. Arka
Hemen
gap.
aslanım var.
Hemen kur.
Hemen kurdum.
Beyler arkaya alsın birisi.
Ben alacağım. Ben alacağım.
aldım.
Ben aldım.
Dönüyorlar.
Now plant secured for Eternal Fire, and Neki hearing a lot of steps jumping up top. He knows exactly where they are. That could be a very early flank coming through, but he's still expecting someone to come his way, not fully believing that the forces have gone elsewhere. Now they're starting to realize, great stun goes through. But they only get the one off the back of it. Fabian still standing strong with a third and a fourth on a sliver of health. He should have been dead to rights there.
I thought we were about to get our third ace of the game. We're only in round 13. Well, we've already had 2. I'll be honest, I'm still not over the Rians one from the last half. I was about to say when he got the kill on Rians that one is worth 3 kills alone. But what a great cleanup from Fabian.
Nice!
You can see. Means a lot to him to kick off this half strong. A half that was going fantastically well for them at 5-2 up, but then, Woot, I think Rians especially, starting to step up to the plate. It's not going to be much invested into this round, although a paranoia used immediately by that defensive side to try and gain some control outside of A. It's not something that they can really hold on to other than just leaving a player there for information.
I'll say that Spears' stuns have been on point all game long. Like so many rounds I can point to, especially the first ones they were winning towards A main. You saw it there in the
him
pistol
or the
as well.
Caesars that we used to kill him.
Yeah, exactly. It was a trade out of valuable utility. And this round sees a very, very light investment, as in 0 credits bar utility for Team Heretics. What we've seen in recent memory from just Valorant in general, I don't think you can count out these kind of buys, but normally there's at least going to be a little bandit or something.
Tree on his own and there's just no scoping people. It's just silly. Like,
it's the Marshall for you in an anti-eco.
It's very strong, but it's like his teammates were just stood outside the door waiting for him to do that. And then, yeah, an in-zone flawless just with the Sheriff at the end. Like, the stronger weapons didn't even need to shoot a bullet in this round for the side of Eternal Fire.
It's a smart play. Why risk the rifles? Send in this madman. If he finds some kills, great. If he gets killed by 2 or 3 people from after the first kill, then fair enough.
I just
don't
don't
know
like how
Let's go
casual
elsewhere.
he makes it look.
Nice. Hello, Alan.
Yeah, it's a double swing, how quick those taps come in. And he just looks so calm, cool, and collected. But he knew going down there to find the information to send the boys away from the forces was all that he needed to do. Now, 7-7, full buy for both squads. And see Eternal Fire coming into this. 5 Vandals to play with, plenty of credits for the next. 1 away from Fabian having his ulti. He's looking for it. He is seeking out Boo. But now he's just going to hold that control until the late round.
First real test. Of course, with how much they were able to do in the last round with the weaker weapons, it's full rifles across the board for Eternal Fire, so it almost feels hard to compute which of these is the bonus and which of these is the full buy, because they're on almost identical footing. Woot in an aggressive position, but he is alone. Manages one, but it's very quickly traded out. You've also got Boo attempting to be a little bit cheeky from above, and although the reveal is there, the players are too far ahead. Spear now as well, converting onto Rinza. Orders just goes swinging. I don't know if he expected that to be clear at this point, but that's given a footing in this round for Heretics.
Oh, Spear doesn't even go for the slide.
He was meant to be bait.
Yeah, exactly. Runs in to draw the eye, but then just stopped in his tracks to take the kill himself. Wonderful work. Man advantage now for the attackers as the spike ticks on, but it's left into the hands of just Neki. Locked out in main, the smoke at least to fade, and they've lined up a collateral for Neki. No shortage of superstar plays coming out of Eternal Fire today.
Yeah, that's a nuts Red Bull clutch. Like, that had to be the aligning of the stars for that to work out for him. I was going to say, like, he didn't even have his dart online. That was gone for ages, but hey, he's having a good time. 8-7, bonus round conversion, although as I said, it was barely a bonus. And it now literally is. There isn't a player over on the Eternal Fire side that hasn't had a crazy round. 4 of the 5 players are also on 11 kills. So there you go. It really is a race to the top. And the one who isn't is Neki, who just clutched.
Well, 1 round to the good now for Eternal Fire. You know, I never know what to expect. That first half, the streak from EF, the fight back from Heretics, and the amount of individual plays that have come out already. Around 16, I do expect Eternal Fire to walk away with very low buy from Heretics. Stack up towards the A site that Eternal Fire are already leaning away from. We haven't seen them explore this C site all too much. I think it's a good idea to pull it out on the eco here, where Heretics are obviously going to enforce part of the map they've seen the most challenges on.
Toxin screen down.
Yeah, the problem is this has become pretty much exactly the same as what they did versus the anti-eco. They've sent Echo with a sniper. Now, 2 players have actually bought full shields over on that defensive side, and it's the 2 players most likely to look for contact versus him. Nice shot already from Woot. They're trying to put the pressure on. The problem is the actual take is going on the other side of the map. That's where the spike is. Okay. Both Boo and Riens quickly find a couple, and then Boo turns on his wall hacks for a second and removes the head of Neki.
He body tagged him first as well. It was a double tap to take him down. Benji's got another. This could be an end zone. This is an end zone flawless. Somehow out of that.
Or is it
an Emoda Thrifty? What takes priority?
Yeah, which one? Emoda? Is it you?
Is it both?
It said Thrifty. It's an Emoda Thrifty. There you go. It was also flawless, though.
I shouldn't have spoken at the start of the round, and I do feel like that might be my bad, but like, oh my god, this shot from Boo. He double tapped. Look at this. 1, 2. And again, go on. Oh, okay. Like, come on. That's incredible. And look, I guess that is karma. Neki got a collateral last round.
He's just like,
and this time he gets double tapped through the smoke. Fair enough. Perfectly balanced.
Yes, that's how the world works. Everything is fair and balanced. Everyone had fun who's taking part.
Poison's off.
Well, because they won the bonus, the attack side are going to be able to buy back in, even getting an operator for Echo. So it didn't work out with his last sniper. Well, I think Woot has just learned that maybe they've invested a bit more into this round than he thought, because that was 2 shots of the Outlaw for him to get that pick. A good advantage for Heretics in this round. Of course, they've just made an incredible amount of credits over the last, and they have Showstopper online. So they're in a pretty good spot. Speaking of good spots.
55, and it's time to go. Eternal Fire take that control. Benji shutting down Echo at least, but they won't keep control of the site unless Woot can fly under the radar. He's not got the best weapon for being up this close with the Outlaw, and Fabian will put him in the ground right away. Any damage done, if it was, which it wasn't, but be healed up right away. And for Heretics, they're going to have to play. Oh, never mind. They're not going to play back into the retake. Let's see how they handle this in the 2v2.
Distance, okay?
Neon planted. 30 on Neon.
Just pick this, okay?
Yes.
We play with you later.
Oh,
Ready?
1, 2.
Last player standing.
Neon planted.
1 enemy remaining.
Nice! You guys
Good
are
fucking
fucking
job.
shit.
Let's go.
It's this Riens once again, man. This guy in clutch scenarios is just an unstoppable force. They need him, and he turns up, he delivers, and he does it almost every single time. He'll put Heretics into the lead. And it looks like it was going to be Fabian that was able to turn this one, put them into a pretty good position initially, but again,
1 enemy
put this man
remaining.
down at the end, and of course he hits the shots.
It's even the timing on his little swing.
That's what they do, and they've got the youth of BS that are trying to learn the ropes, and maybe Eternal Fire can try and do the same here. They've got at least a little to invest. I think the overdrive from Spear is going to be the most interesting piece, and he's going alone, and while going alone, he's managed to get them an opener on the B side, but they're not going towards B. He's trying to wrap back around because Maris was waiting. He's denied them, and because of the delay over on the C site, they haven't actually taken anywhere near as much control as you would have hoped they would.
It was interesting, Echo just ran through to break the Prowler to make them think it was the B site, so there's not as many players waiting on C as there could have been. Benji falls with no trade possible, and Heretics are locked out of this site.
Planted.
Man advantage for Eternal Fire, but the Nightfall's going to be put through. One for Rien's, and the Viper's Pit will be there to contend with. Fabian standing strong in the corner, and Rien's tagged. Maybe not too low to use that pit, but he's all alone now. It's not looking likely, and it's no longer possible. And a Moda Thrifty for Eternal Fire, answering back to what Heretics dealt out just 2 rounds ago.
I am going to have to call you out and say you need to stop saying, like, it's probably going to be 10, because that seemingly doesn't work. Because you said that in the last round.
No, I know I did, yeah. This is the second time.
And yeah.
Second
Immediately
time.
a Moda Thrifty afterwards. At least this one wasn't flawless, but yeah. Hush your gums.
The flawless definitely felt like a bit more of a sting, but at least that came off straight BS. This is a great round from Eternal Fire to put them neck and neck.
I'm out
Now,
here.
Operator in the hands of Spear. It was straight up aggression towards B main last round with his ulti. This one will be a little bit more tame. And it will be Benji on the chopping block, although he's rotated away. He can't leave for too long. You got the wall up at least, but with how quickly Eternal Fire can flood out, you at least want info early. And now that info should tell you not to peek that again.
Well, it's enough to send a shiver down your spine, but not enough to scare Benji Fishy away. Viper's Pit's also been used on C just in case there is an attempt to wrap back in that direction. What a challenge onto Echo. Well, I guess he was more challenging their ground, and because of that, got stuck in the mud. Also, the spike's been trapped before. Weaponry about to be removed, and that's a big problem. Boo has given a further advantage, and Spear thought he had safe ground. Instead, Ordaz was a little bit delayed, and although he'll do some damage, it is not enough. The lead swings back and forth once again, and Heretics have it once more.
Yeah, I love this round from Heretics. The second that they see that challenge towards C after already spotting the op outside B, because it was a drone that was coming up from C main, clearing mound, clearing up behind the box, then the pit just comes into play. So they've secured C at that point. B is a pain, because you've got to go through Vice and Viper Wall. And in the meantime, while that Viper Wall is up, they send Woot and Kosh Maris to push A. Echo's trying to find that little space, but Heretics realized we're losing control, we're being pressured on the other side, we need to pressure here. That got them the snake in the grass. Double digits on the board for the defensive side, and, well, a few pistols in play. I'm not saying a thing.
Keep my team's name out your mouth. 10-9. No rounds have been free, and if anything, this blow-by has more to it than you might expect. Echo still has a Viper's Pit as well, so if they can get into a position, that's the one
There.
ultimate that has value.
This is really dangerous. This is way more dangerous now. They're going to get into B pretty much for free. That Viper's Pit can go down. Now with the man advantage as well, you almost need something to pull that advantage back, and that's the moment that Boo and Woot answer up. Benji starts to slip in. He's already around the pit, and he's dropped Echo outside of it. Pit down, and players down. Eternal Fire crumbling. It was a great idea. They got good ground and the man advantage, but Heretics pulled that back so quick.
Yeah, they made that look very comfortable in the end. I think as well, you have to bear in mind, Echo didn't have a gun, so he puts the Viper's Pit in, probably goes to try and find something additional, and doesn't realize that Benji Fishy has just been waiting the whole time to strike. But it's those 2 quick kills towards the broken door that end up being the problem. And while Woot continues his form.
Let's go! Let's go!
That is how I feel when I kill a Viper outside of their pit. Every time.
I thought that was just you when you get a kill.
My throat will be very sore, Tom.
It is, isn't it?
It is actually, yeah. Been a tough week for me, let me tell you.
Right here.
Yeah, you got 2 kills in a game. Anyway, 11-9.
No need for that.
Defensive side looking to get aggressive. They've revealed everybody. They know the full force of their opposition are there, but dealing with it is another story. An even trade early on. Fabian down, but they live to tell the tale on the attack side, and now with so many casualties, they'll look to try and play with those rotations. Now, the wall obviously is not moving. It's been in the same spot most rounds from Benji over on B. He has the Thorns, so that's why they're leaving such a massive opening on that side of the map. And putting the pressure onto this double stack up of players, which is exactly where Eternal Fire are about to walk into. Right place, right time, but coming out. Whoa, okay, never mind. I thought that Woot would eventually go down, but never mind at all. He's managed a quick double. And he will close the round for Heretics, one away from taking their opponent's map choice.
Yeah, and going into that double spray as well. He was one away from a showstopper. It's now going to be online for him. Coming into the next round for Team Heretics.
Nice! Woot! Good job!
Woot's already scary enough as he is. Now he's going to have a rocket launcher. 3 rounds, 3 chances to lock in this map. After that streak at 5-2, it looked like Eternal Fire had completely locked this map down, but Heretics woke up just in time. And keep in mind, we don't know what to expect on Haven, but it was their pick.
You've just got to be so blessed if you're the Heretics coach and staff. You have Riens, who's probably, if not the best initiator player, maybe even in the world. And then you go, all right, buddy, are you good to play Viper today? And he goes, sure. And just looks fantastic. And then you put Woot back on the primary duelist role, also looking fantastic. It's a good day to be a Heretics fan. And for Eternal Fire, they've had moments of bliss and brilliance, but it looks like their map choice is slipping from their fingers into the hands of Riens. They look to go. It's only going to be the one this time, which, hey, that's a good enough trade in my books. But the Hunter's Fury has found nothing, and it's an attempted ruse, but that ruse hasn't worked out. And a labored fight now has them running back towards the C side. And you can see, look at where the defenders are. They're like, is it A? Is it C? Is it B? They don't even know where they're going. Left. I don't even think Eternal Fire know where they're going.
Yeah, the problem is because of where that wall is towards A and all the numbers, there's so many gaps now for Heretics. So they need Benji to leave C. They need to play this together. But as time ticks on, you're now worried about that flank coming through, or you have to be. Plant is going to be touched, though, and that's going to tell Heretics exactly where the play is coming in. Now they can group up, play this together, and that's more terrifying considering all that Woot has to do is press X or A.
Showstopper. Could be a problem, but in front of it, I thought for a second he was going to find it. Instead, it's Spear. He trades out a double, looks for one more, but he misses the shots. He gives Benji an opening. Benji maybe having the expectation of a wraparound
45 HP.
instead. But at the time so low that it almost feels like he needs to go through it. Running back out, and all timing is everything, but Echo is ready and waiting. Thanks to Spear, Eternal Fire will live to fight another day, but they still need 2 more rounds.
No, it was a huge step up from Spear. He had to deliver them that double, or this one was done. They're very lucky to get away with only 1 kill. Going the way of Riens there. You said it's, fighting against him is one thing. That was through a snake fight as well. Like, I never back you. I don't care if you throw 5 people at him. But for Spear, he showed up in just the right moment. It did, I agree. It looked like...
case of really breaking the economy. Like, you might make it a little bit lower going into the next round, but I think there should be enough anyway for a buy from Team Heretics.
Yeah, if it's needed. Aggression from Eternal Fire right away. Ult pop by Fabian, and they are making noise towards this C site. But take a look at Echo. Just peep his position. He's got a little gap in his wall to hide behind. Thank you, Zilf. They are putting the pressure on to hopefully drag those rotations, but we're seeing a very patient display from Heretics, and having this Vice util and Benji solos A is a big reason for that. They can still make those rotates, they can still play retake on C if they want after that first fight, and for now they've got a high-low, with Koshmaris able to TP across the map to back them up wherever they go. Heretics don't really have anything to panic about, and the Prowlers just fully cleared C.
The wall has been baited. TP into the back of the site. Why? It wasn't actually stuck. And instead they're going to pressure on to Benji, but obviously for Fabian that's a little bit easier said than done. He can go through those thorns, no problem. Showstopper doesn't quite connect, and ooh, for Echo. He's just about going to get out of there, but he walks straight into the hands of Riens. From above, Woot will catch another with a gap in the smoke. Advantages now starting to look more and more in favor up until they meet Spear. He will quickly find a couple, but even more caught. They look to go for the swing. Now the Nightfall leaves an impossible task. And of course, it's Rien's to close. It's Heretics taking their opponent's map choice. And who but Rien's to be the one to finish things off?
Yeah, this has been a spectacular display by Heretics, but we also saw Eternal Fire make for the way he did, and now on the Chamber, and Koshmara's back on the Neon. How do you feel about what we're seeing?
Realistically, Heretics should be massively favored going into this map. It's their choice. It's one they play.
Yep.
But I look at the composition and one that's commonly played on this map, and Eternal Fire should be one of the best at it. They've always loved the agents they're playing. Rien's hasn't gone anywhere, though. He's back on the fade with a point to prove. Boo might be good, but Rien's might just be better. He's got an assist on that third one as well, and okay, he's not going to be allowed to close it out, but what a very fast pistol round coming out for Heretics.
Ding, ding, ding. That was me ringing the Captain Cowbell. I would like to see Rien's stats against Turkish teams and non-Turkish teams, because I genuinely feel like the story every time, yeah, average.
What stat do you want?
Last stage. Well, like his performances, ACS, KD, see the assists in there as well,
Cast?
why not? No, we can leave the cast out. We can burn that and forget about it. But it genuinely, it's so weird because you have these ideas about players, these stories, these narratives that we spin that, oh yeah, well, look, against Turkish teams, he's the best. But that shouldn't really be a thing, right? It's the same game. It's 5 dudes on the other side. It shouldn't matter that much. Somehow, it genuinely tracks that this guy just hits another level. Pistol round. Already in for a multi-kill. Starts out here with a rifle. Koshmara's in the same boat. And it looks like, at least for now, the spike was going towards the C site. They'd taken the wide open ground, but they haven't seen anything here on A. That's about to change. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
They might still go A now. They think they've got most of them.
They're going to spot the aggression into middle as well. It's not the greatest fight in the world. How has Spear come out with 2? He's only got a classic. Shouldn't be going anywhere near this well. Hasn't managed to retrieve any of the weaponry, but he's still holding on to some of the ground. He's managed to avoid that piece of utility. He even hits another headshot.
Oh my goodness.
Made this one incredibly damaging. And he's given Neki a chance. It's another headshot hit. There's going to be a lot of shields being rebought, even on the 2 rifles, they say, but it could have been a whole lot worse.
I mean, this is the thing, man. You think about sheriffs in their hands there. The headshots delivered in those last fights. What a tight margin. And if it wasn't even for the collateral to start this out, if that was even just a single kill, Fabian was half a second later rounding that corner, or even just a little bit luckier to not get caught by it, we might have seen Eternal Fire walk out with that win, especially having the Phoenix for those close pushes. But 2-0 for Heretics. And look, they had 2 rifles in the last round. It wasn't the biggest of investments. So still going to be a pretty healthy round here. Oh. Spear's been so good, but that miss is costly.
Well, that's the one thing I kind of wanted to say going into this round. He goes for a glass cannon operator. I don't think his operator in the first map at least lit the world on fire. His rifle was insane. And his instant headshot capability almost makes me think, is there a need? It's kind of like when Zeus plays the operator. You go like, is there any point him playing the operator? So I wonder if that's going to be a theme going forward, because what this has now meant is that Boo has an operator, and Fabian's aggression now means there's another gun on the floor. There's now a very good opportunity for Heretics to go 3-0 in the lead.
Be a strong start indeed. They're still walking into numbers.
Bring them down.
Neki and Audaz dodging the Prowler as well. Still having a trip on short. Valuable information. They're only worried about long
a lot
for
of information.
And then, well, yeah, time to go the other way. Fleeing towards that C site. An Echo. Oh, it could even be the B hit. It would be a perfect play if that's where they take it. But no, they are going to give Echo an opportunity unknowingly.
He sat ready in the corner. Incredibly good in these moments, but this has to be one of the best of them. The trip's going to let him know that's the first, and there's an immediate trade. Woot. It may be a bit of an unexpected position. Now for the post plant. An operator into Woot's hands, which is something they probably would have been saving up to get anyway.
Cover going out.
That chamber up has been nasty, and well, they're not even going to be able to challenge for this, and that's definitely a bit more of an issue. Like, as said, I've not been massively, it's very, very small data size, of course, because we haven't seen much of Spear whatsoever, but the fact that he misses that initial shot gives an operator over to the other side. And then the round kind of tumbles down from there. You see Fabian goes, okay, well, I'm the Phoenix, I need to get aggressive. He gets caught being aggressive. And with that two-man advantage, you kind of expect from then onwards for Heretics to run away with the round. 3-0. Of course, this is their map choice as well. And in case we haven't already hammered it home, not a map that Eternal Fire played since the very beginning of the year.
And that's not the start that you want with all those things adding up. Brienne's and Kosh, immortal for the time being, yet to die with 5-0 and 4-0 on the board. 3-0 on the scoreboard with 4 players alive. An op gifted to Woot as well. To say that the credits are in a comfortable spot for Heretics would be an understatement. And then you consider what Eternal Fire have here to do damage, to keep that economy modest, will be a big challenge. That said, they managed a lot with classics and a couple pistols, so maybe we shouldn't count them out.
Contact play. Timing. Well, I was going to say it wasn't the best for Woot, but then Neki gave him the second chance anyway. The rest of the players seemingly a little in doubt as to what their plan would be. Some wanted to re-aggress. Others wanted to fall back, and now they fall back. Of course, for Heretics, this is all but a patience game, just trying to avoid the dangers of this round. And to be honest, with the Nightfall, with how some of these rounds have gone, I wouldn't be too mad to see it utilized in this round.
Well, at least for now, it's going to be a dry approach, but they've seen a lot of presence here. I'd be surprised to see Heretics commit blind, and indeed they will go elsewhere. The B site, well defended. The C's not going to keep him around for too long. Quick TP from Audaz, and there's 4 players back B site. Everywhere Heretics go, there are numbers waiting with open arms. And so they'll change direction again.
30 seconds left.
Looking for another site to step all into, and well, that Nightfall's given them a lot of control. Ooh. Fabian gets in just in time, and now trading blows. It's not a good look for Heretics. They've got the advantage at least, and the plan possible, but 12 seconds, it has to be found soon, but with Fabian on 30,
10 seconds left.
Maybe there's no need to fear.
Spike planted.
He's got nothing to heal himself back up with either. Ultimate, not going to be a possibility. It just has to be onto raw aim, and well, that's a damn nice shot on the first, but he was expecting the swing to come through from short. And instead it was Rien's once again. He started off another map with a bang. He's 8-0. Genuinely, there needs to be something tested with just him versus Turkish.
I just don't understand it.
It is just like, of course, Rien's is always good.
Yeah.
Like, he's the most consistent player, definitely in this team, but maybe even in the league. Like, he's very, very consistently good. But it just seems like he goes from consistently good to just insane the second he steps on stage versus another Turkish squad.
It really does feel like that's the case. It shouldn't be. And I doubt in his head it's any different. But maybe there's some motivation there. Echo,
oh,
nice
he's mortal.
work. He's taken down Rien's, the first death for the fate of Team Heretics. And indeed, Koshmaris will not be able to strike from the shadows. Good work early on for Eternal Fire. And with Woot down, that's most of the danger removed.
It looked like Woot was going for a trick shot. Trying to jump past that. And well, yeah, it was a tricky shot, we could say. Even still, though, Eternal Fire have to be careful not to take too many casualties. The economy of Heretics is incredibly good in this position, and Echo is low. They don't have any more ultimates to play with either, so the clear out should mean we see a gamble rotation. They've just used a Prowler deep on that A side of the map. You can immediately see the switch up to at least double stack B, but that will also give them quicker rotations. It looks like they're just planning for the retake, but that does leave me a little bit more nervous. You've got Spear on an operator. You also then have Echo, who is 11 HP. A wild spam could take him down. I don't know. I have a feeling that this round might not be over just yet.
Well, they know about the Vice Wall. I'm not sure what you do about that, though. Going up to bait it is risky.
Especially when you're 11 HP.
Yeah, exactly. Like one single shot and the chances of him holding it might be decent, but I think he's going to wait for the rest of the squad. He can just run through it himself. Of course, the wall doesn't matter if it's behind you, and that's the idea. Benji caught him, and the Thorns have bought time. Out for more was Benji, but he's shut down. Boo now has to do it on his own, and the angle, it's not great to try to get this spam through. He's going to have to fight for the round, and he's done well with the first, suspecting that it's a fake too. And now it's too late. It would have already been defused, so he knows that time is on his side again. He spots that this is not being defused, and Neki calls for the save, running with the operator. A Red Bull clutch for Boo. And Tom, this never should have been. You said you were nervous, and I could see why, but I wasn't downing Eternal Fire here. That's 5-0. This should have been the end of the streak for Heretics.
I think you could just, especially with Benji having a full belt of utility, he was able to get that cross. And then once it comes down to these late round scenarios, Boo's not always going to be the flashiest player in the world. He does get 3 kills. He was on 0 before that. But he's very, very smart in clutch scenarios. He's very, very clever in just like, how do I bait time? And knowing like, okay, this guy's let go. I can just keep maneuvering around and keep switching up my position, disciplining you. Now, sometimes I will say Eternal Fire look like they need a little bit of discipline with some of the decisions they make, but I've never seen, like, yeah, sure, you'll get the odd frustration, but I think he's the calmest coach in the league.
The nurturing approach, oh my goodness. Woot gets blinded, but shoots on a timing and takes down Spear. An operator pick to start out this round right after the pause. Eternal Fire's first plan is to try to fight, not necessarily Woot, but to try to fight out the doors, and that has not gone according to plan. I will say, through no fault of their own. Great shot by Woot.
Yeah, that has been the case for quite a lot of the rounds. Like, it seems like Heretics individually are in some very good form. We've highlighted Rian's a lot. Woot also had a great first map, and now Koshmara is on a much more comfortable agent. Like, you can see why they made the swaps to him being on Omen.
Rian's looks very comfortable in the Prowlers.
Yeah, it's not the best product. Well, if he could shoot everyone in the head, who needs utility, right? He's still used to playing Viper, you know, after the last round.
This is such a risk, man. Like, if this is a Neon or Yoru, where are you going, bro? You're locked in there with them. The Thorns behind him. Yeah, I didn't expect to see the odd pushing around backside when you know the hit's coming in on Cypher with no teammates close by. But it was a unique strategy. I don't know if they called it in the pause, but well, everyone who picks up that op dies immediately.
Oh, okay. That's messy. And actually, the aggression as well from Benji obviously took their weapons away. He's bought them time. This definitely won't be the prettiest round Heretics have won if they are to win it, but there's still 2 players left on the other side. Weaponry now back online. That operator has been retrieved once again. Nice shot from Woot. Tracks him all the way, and then the fadeaway allows Boo to close things out. Talk about a player in form. Woot's looking fantastic. Well, 6-0. Heretics look great. And I wanted to touch on something you said about Echo. I feel like he's the sort of player that has nothing and then goes all in.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, I have a terrible hand, but I'm going to play the bluff that I have everything.
Oh, yeah.
And then so sometimes you go, that's one of the greatest things I've ever seen. He just managed to bluff everyone. And then the other, like, 8 out of 10 times you go, he didn't need to do that.
I don't think Woot could have shot an Outlaw's second shot that quickly. How fast he went, oh, I've missed the shot, turned the Headhunter, flicked to where his head would be, guy's fully concealed by smoke, and shot his head off. Oh, we didn't need to show that, did we? The Thorns on the roof. I can't remember who it was that every Thorn they threw was on the roof, and I think it's good that I can't remember it. Do you want to remind me? Do you want to be toxic?
No, don't.
Ah,
he's on the wing.
Yes, okay.
His util's on the roof.
His util's on the, he's on the wing and his util's on the sky. Well, a low buy round for Eternal Fire. Ult pop by Spear to try to punish them outside the double doors, but very quickly Heretics concede that space. I like what Fabian's doing in the smoke. Kosh definitely expecting it. But he has a flash to play with. Could be dangerous, even getting around this corner, but looks like he'll contact it, not knowing that someone's there. And I thought that would have been to his detriment, but hey, getting one there is just fine for Fabian. He should have been dead.
Even still, such a massive deficit in rounds, in weaponry, and in players in this one. Once again, they're looking for one of those hero plays, and okay, there's a player close, but Benji fishy. Looking to farm up some of those eco kills. got 3 already. We managed 2 aces and a nearly ace in the last map.
Gotta go.
He may have an opportunity here. Okay, Ordaz clearly having the right idea.
Nice.
Weapon found. A player up close with an operator. Might be somewhat of a surprise. They're trying to bait them into the fight, but I think at this stage they know they're not on it. And while from afar, Riens will put this one to bed. 7-0. I think we are slowly witnessing the reason that this has been a map they do not play.
And the reasoning behind
We're getting a
Heretics picking it
replay.
back. Come on. Come on now. There's absolutely no need
The
to
worst thing is as well,
Benji
is you're
Fishy
gonna,
that dirty.
you've added that into a highlight reel of him basically
Yeah,
winning the round of his
shredding
team.
people.
It's like, look at this ass piece of utility. Now frag movie, like that's not cool.
I hope in the end of day replay, they're going to just cut in Rienz's Prowler right before his ace. That'd be a beautiful little transition.
His ace while Viper on the other map.
Yeah. Hey, it doesn't have to be chronological. Time is relative, and it's going relatively well for Eternal Fire to start. But maybe not in the midsection. Good return by Rienz. Ult online for him. They can clear a site. They can get the plant. And a very slow round being played out by Wood. He's not had much to do so far.
Let's watch Echo. Where's Echo going to go?
Player
There we go. Right to his death. Who could have seen that coming? Me. Anyway, Ordaz. 1 versus 3. But it's not really a 1 versus 3 because they're going to try and go the opposite way. And they've also heard the same. The problem he has is if there was like 15 seconds left, him throwing that paranoia, he could bait them into going the way he wants. With 52 seconds left, they can really take their time. And then they've also gone in that direction anyway. Thorns. I've actually really enjoyed Benji's Thorns. He seems to hold them so often for those post-plots. And then, of course, you peek even for a millisecond, and Riens takes your head clean off.
What's even his utility there, you see that the wall is used in post plants as well. Like pretty much every Vice in your ranked games is going to, well, either not put any utility down ever, or put that wall down at the start of the round. Just a cipher trip to protect your back in whatever side you're not pressuring. But Heretics are also pushing and pulling the map so much that it does mean
you cannot peek. You're gonna die.
it does mean that when it comes to taking control on one side of the map, if you're not leaving someone there, there's
An impossible scenario.
100%. High-low, played well by the other side, but he won that round. That's the thing. A lot of the times when you see those big advantages lost, it's like, oh, the other team threw it, and yeah, you capitalized, but they threw it. There, that 1v2 part was just fine. Now, that's a
As
great
he
start.
won it with the Marshall, he lost it every time he took that fight with the op, and then he... Guys, did
had
he
nothing
just...
to lose.
Has he thrown the Thorns on the roof again?
Spike drop.
That I just or did we just show a replay
I looked down and
mid-round?
coughed while that happened. There's no way.
I think he has put them on the roof again.
I don't believe you. So how about that?
Okay, cool.
If it's a replay, I'm going to say it was last round. Blitz in from Kosh. He's going to find nothing, but Boo and Rienz are picking it all up around his wall. He popped his ult to try to get involved. In the end, I suppose he did. He drew the retention. The laser pointer showed the buddies where to aim, and that TP is being well and truly heard.
Benji Fishy, is it going to be a case of misses you till get a 3K? No. This time it's only going to be the 2K. I'm sure he's not going to be too happy with that. 9-0. Maybe he's using the Scream Molly tactic.
Right, yeah. Oh, come on.
Yeah. That's a nice shot, though. But yeah, you know, it's like they see it on the roof, they're like, what's that? And then you kill them.
I love that you're like, was it 1 round after or 2 rounds after? You're like, I really love Benji Fish's utility. It's fantastic.
Well,
2
when
rounds
he
in a row,
holds
it's on a roof.
No. He holds it to the end of the round. It's great. He's using it too early.
The time you set it on, his utility's been dog water.
No. One of those was after he threw it on the roof.
Right.
I said it after he threw it on the roof.
Okay.
Then he did it again. But when he uses it in post plants, I really like his utility.
I really want him in a post plant to chuck one on a roof. It would make
that
my
would be
day.
impressive considering most of the time he is standing,
Looking
looking
exactly
and just throwing it. I really like him, how he activates the Thorns once they land in a good position.
That's it. If they hear them and they can't see them, they might not push anywhere because they'll be worried. Yeah, smart play. Love to see it. 9-0. This is getting pretty grim for Eternal Fire. That said, Heretics were 9-3 down, Fracture, bounce back. Said that before. It was Kosh having a big game. Who is the hero for Eternal Fire. In this round, there must be one.
It's a
full buy. Audaz, back sight, still fully armed. They've heard him now, but he'll still get one before going down. He's giving them a chance, a lifeline. Echo answering up with another. Trades for now, but Benji Fishy is going to find a double. Fabian's ult traded out at least. So the numbers in the 2v2 look good. Nightfall through, so there's info there for Heretics. They know where both players are, and the spike's still not planted, so they are just looking for this duel, waiting
30 seconds
for that walkthrough from Neki, and now he's been spotted in the corner. 25, not enough time to go back, but they used the plant to bait Fabian out. Playing as individuals is not benefiting Eternal Fire for now, and Neki has no choice but to continue the trend.
Yeah, I feel like play as a team had to be one of the points that was coming through from From Fire. That shot landed as well. He knows where both of them are. A chance to spam, but of course, Wu is just better at this point. Even the chef's kiss coming out from Riens, and wow, he's been chefing them up all game.
Third demon too, yeah, absolutely has. The guy is the GOAT against the Turkish squads and Heretics. You know, they stand unopposed at 10-0.
I have a question.
Yes?
How bad was Eternal Fire's summit?
Oh, yeah. Well, I will say something a little out there. It can't be worse.
No,
at this point.
Yeah, at this point.
10 rounds in,
correct.
I couldn't imagine it being any worse than what we've seen here.
So maybe, just maybe, I think they should stick to, yeah, to banning that. Also, like, there wasn't that higher odds that it was going to be picked by their opponents, so.
I will say that I always respect teams for trying to expand the map pool, but up against Heretics here maybe wasn't the time.
Also, it doesn't look that expanded.
You need officials, Tom. The things that work in practice don't always work in officials.
Yeah, I can tell.
You can well, we haven't seen the practices. Maybe it was 10-0 down, and then that attack side, baby. 12 in a row.
Yeah, yeah.
It could be.
Maybe they are the greatest attack side
almost
we
have to hope to God that it will be.
Yeah, or hope that they get one of these. No, I think they need both.
Yeah, they need both, and they're starting out with just exactly what you want.
10-2, you know, that's the new 9-3. That's what all the cool kids are saying.
I don't think anyone said that.
No,
at any
I've
point.
said that.
Yeah?
Recently, because we have seen 10-2 comebacks.
Yeah, yeah.
There's one or two people. I don't believe them. I don't agree. But, like, it has been said.
It happened once or twice. Doesn't mean it's a trend. For Eternal Fire, they'll certainly hope that it is. They've got the numbers in the right spot. Heretics are pushing into the stack. The weapons not looking great. Echo, Judge in hand, that corner. They might think it to be cleared. They try to spam him out. Get him after just one. It's a good start. 12 seconds to get that plant down, and Riens again! A double into the plant to keep this round alive. It looked like there was some hope for Eternal Fire, but of course, Riens hadn't rounded the corner just yet.
He was giving them a chance. He was like, I'll let you fight my teammates, and then if I'm needed, I'll look to finish the job. And while even with a dink out from the Stinger, Wu. That's the thing. Like, obviously, we're talking about Riens because how he's been playing, but Wu has also been insane this entire series. Like, I think this is where if you catch Heretics on a good day, and a good day normally means you have Wu and Riens. If you have both of them playing at a top level, I feel like there's very little you can do about it. And then you add in a third player, say, for example, in this case, a Benji Fishy, other than his lineups, and there's nothing you can do.
Do you think anybody...
Let's go!
Do you think anybody warned Spear about Riens before the game?
I don't think that's a good idea.
But like any of his friends or anything, did they say, "Oh, you're facing Riens"? He's insane
like,
against Turkish teams.
Like, I would say if you've ever watched VCT, you know how good Riens is, and if you're Turkish, you definitely know.
Probably.
But yeah, Spear is currently 3 and I think it was 13.
Yeah, something like that.
Maybe not 13.
Not 13, 11,
yeah,
or
probably
3 and 11, I'd imagine.
Yeah, well, they haven't won a round, so I don't know how he would have survived.
It mostly died Have they saved at all? I don't think so. One round, I think, from either Echo or Audaz on the C side, but yeah, it's been pretty tough. The tally only adds up in one direction for now.
I'm sure Izzy's happy at least.
Goodness, yeah, stocks are increasing slightly. Not sure it would be much different if we had him in, but
Spear's at least got the operator again. It's not the greatest talking point at this point.
Well, yeah, last time you said, "Oh, I haven't really liked his op, but preferred his rifle."
Yeah.
But hey, he's got that op though.
Yeah,
So-
for a retake, they don't have any ultimates to play
This
with.
goes.
Woot has both a rifle and the Tour de Force.
And he's starting with Tour de
And
Force up close like a
Rian's-
shotgun.
Rian's is one off having the Nightfall. And I wouldn't be the one gambling on him not to get a singular kill.
That's sickening, to be honest. Oh, now Woot's screwed. His TP's just been taken away. Benji's coming with the U-tail! I thought the Woot was dead to rights, but the Thorn saved his ass, and he sat on this. How is he alive?
No.
He tried to knife Fabian to close this half out. The disrespect palpable, and he'll be taken down through his own wall. 12-0, a flawless half from Team Heretics. An Eternal Fire, and that is a tough pill to swallow.
Oh, well, thank God that for this halftime, the interview is actually with somebody from the Heretic side, because otherwise this would have been a nightmare. We're going to be going off before the match to an interview that was with Boo.
Boo, I want to cast your mind back to last week. Maybe you'd rather not, but
Live in Barcelona. Scan the QR code right there and get your tickets. That's right, our Stage 2 finals, our last weekend before champs, will be running in Barcelona. I can't wait for the road show to see the Spanish audience. We got a taste of it before, and it left me hungry for more.
If Heretics play like this, I'm sure they'll be over the moon. And what a performance it has been to deny Mix while making a tweet. They need to win this pistol round and many, many more. And Boo's already started off with a bang! Okay, Kushmaris swinging in to the blender. It is done, it is over. We were back for one round. 13-0. See you later, Eternal Fire. Get out of here. You have been dominated by Team Heritage.